Hey there, Autism Fitness founder Eric Chessen, leading the movement for movement, and welcome to another edition of Autism Fitness Tuesday training. In this edition, we're going to be talking about shaping. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and share this video. But watch it first, or you can do it in reverse order. Anyway, we're going to be talking about shaping. Now, shaping is one of my favorite concepts and strategies from applied behavior analysis. And the cool thing is when we are referring to or implementing fitness and adapted PE programs for the autism population and neurodivergent population as well, we can use shaping in all three of our main skill acquisition variables. That's physical, adaptive, and cognitive. That's the PAC profile. That is our standard operating procedure for autism fitness and all of our programming. So as a definition, shaping means the gradual increase in the technical mastery of a skill. Normally, when we're talking about the autism or neurodivergent population, shaping refers to either behavioral goals, sometimes speech goals as well. So we may initially have a full sentence that isn't quite as understandable to the general population. Maybe a couple of therapists or family members can understand what the individual means. And as we continue to shape the behavior of that speech pattern, it sounds better and better. So it is understood by more of the general population. This is a very, very good thing for obvious reasons. Now, with respect to physical skill acquisition, shaping is very important because oftentimes, as you may already know, individuals with autism have a host of muscular and motor planning deficits or challenges that we encounter, especially when we are initiating fitness programs. And this is the reason why we want to do our PAC profile assessment initially, so we can figure out what that athlete's baseline skills are with particular reference to each exercise. So our squat, our medicine ball throws, overhead presses, farmer's walks, heavy carries, etc., etc. Now, when we are shaping, what's going to happen initially is we're going to have a baseline result, and then gradually over time, with practice, with reinforcement, with coaching, the skill is going to get better and better. This is what happens when we are consistent with our programming, our exercise selection, our coaching, our reinforcement. All of these good things come together, and the shaping part is where we are continuously focusing on getting a better and better result. I'll give an example from the physical perspective. An athlete is doing an overhead press, and when they first start out during the assessment session, they're going up and down really, really quickly with the sandbells. There's not a lot of control, especially during the eccentric portion of the movement. They're going up and down really quickly. So there's not exactly a high benefit or training effect. So what do? Well, and this is something that we work on in autism fitness training, we gradually reinforce when the athlete is going slow, and whether we have to mirror prompt that or provide some type of very light, gradual physical prompt for the athlete, and then reinforce whenever they are doing it correctly. So what starts out as a really fast movement might slow down a little bit, and it gets better and better. The athlete gets stronger. They have more control and stability of the shoulder. They have more control and stability of the grip, and they understand the expectation for performing this exercise. So in the beginning, in the first couple sessions or first couple of weeks, that baseline skill might be very rote. The movement looks a little bit clunky. It's too fast. And over time, by way of our coaching and our reinforcement, and of course, the athlete practicing that movement pattern over and over and getting better at it, then we see it shaping into a better movement, better overall control, stability, and strength. All good things, right? So shaping is, I kind of envision it, and you can see me continuously doing this with my hands, of funneling into a very narrow scope of performance. Initially, that performance is going to be out here. Again, it's going to be a little bit clunky, a little bit too fast, and that's where we need to guide the athlete toward performing the exercise even better. And that's going to take time. So that's the physical aspect of shaping. The adaptive aspect of shaping is in the reinforcement and motivation. So for example, we may start out with an athlete and initially they need a 1-to-1 ratio of reinforcement to task time. So they do a set of 3 hurdle steps and then they need a break for a minute or a minute and a half, right? Gradually, as we shape that behavior and we reinforce and we have more motivated athlete, then they're getting a full set of hurdle steps, 5 or 6. Then they're getting 2 sets. Then they're getting 3 sets before they need that break or that secondary reinforcer. So we're shaping our expectation around when that athlete is on performance time and exercise time and when they are taking a break as well. So we are able to increase their on-time focused behavior and shape how they are relating to the exercise as well, increasing motivation, increasing focus and attending. And now we have much more activity to break time. The third way, of course, we have physical, adaptive, and now we're looking at cognitive. The way that we can shape cognitive skills as they relate to fitness activities, we come back to language and how can we shape some of the language that the athlete has around medicine ball throws, for example. So, and this of course is ongoing with an athlete. This is not going to be our first goal because our first goal is getting them moving well, being stronger, stable, and better motor planning. But later on, we may have an athlete who gives us 1 or 2 word sentences. And over time, we can start shaping that behavior to holding out for that athlete, giving us a 4 or 5 word sentence. This is something that I've incorporated into a lot of my athletes' programs. So instead of push throw, we're holding out for, or we're reinforcing, I want to do push throws, or I want push throws. Awesome, right? So the expectation changes over time because the athlete's skills have developed. And this culminates in not only the skill acquisition from now this cognitive or language standpoint and the athlete understanding the expectation for each exercise. We're going to come back to that in a couple seconds. But moving backwards, now we have the adaptive. We have a more motivated athlete, so we're getting more done. And from the physical perspective, we are continuing to dial in that athlete's technique and control with each exercise so that they are getting more out of each exercise. This is, of course, a process. So let's jump back to that cognitive aspect also, because some of that is what we call muscle memory as well. The more consistency we have, or the athlete has, with that particular exercise, the better, as long as we're coaching correctly, they are going to get at that particular exercise. So over time, we're seeing a better performance of that exercise, and that is the huge generalization potential where it's going to carry over into their activities of daily living. So shaping is the process of initially the exercise looks like this, and we want to bridge that gap until the exercise gets really good, really controlled. The athlete can perform it well. The athlete can perform it independently, which is our gold standard here. And then we see it generalized to other situations. The athlete has that physical skill in a variety of different environments and different tests. That's our platinum level right there. When we discuss cognitive functioning as it relates to shaping as well, the athlete starts to pick up on when they're performing the exercise correctly versus when something is off. And in the Autism Fitness certification, we have a process that we teach called counting versus not counting, highly effective, not immediately with an athlete in the first session, but over time to get the best possible performance out of them because the athlete may not know it first. So that is a brief intro into shaping and how it can actually affect physical, adaptive, and cognitive performance. This is an absolutely outstanding way to, over time, develop skills that are really going to impact beneficially the lives of the autism and neuroadaptive population. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm Autism Fitness founder Eric Chessen. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share this video, and I'll be here next week with another Autism Fitness Tuesday training. Thanks for watching.